Have you ever caught someone stealing glances at you in a way that felt different, respectful, admiring, maybe even intrigued? Or maybe younger people seem to listen more attentively when you speak, as if your words carry extra weight. If you've ever wondered why that is, you're not alone. Many older men don't recognize the subtle yet powerful qualities that make them naturally attractive. The truth is, attraction isn't just about looks. It's about presence, wisdom, and the kind of quiet confidence that only comes with experience. In this video, we're breaking down 7 clear signs that you are an attractive older man, even if you've never realized it. These aren't about having a chiseled jawline or a full head of hair. They're about the deeper, more magnetic traits that draw people in, whether in relationships, social settings, or everyday life. And here's the best part. If you recognize even one of these signs in yourself, it means you already have a natural advantage that most younger men don't. But if you don't, that's okay too. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what makes older men attractive, but you'll also learn practical ways to enhance these qualities, strengthen your confidence, and make the most of your natural appeal. So stick around, because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you see yourself. 1. Confidence that comes with experience. If there's one thing that sets an attractive older man apart, it's the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be announced. It's not loud, not forced, and certainly not about proving anything to anyone. Instead, it's a quiet, assured presence, one that comes from years of lived experience, from the lessons learned, and from the simple, undeniable fact that you've been through enough to know who you are. Younger men often feel pressure to establish themselves. They want to be seen, to be respected, to make an impact. And because they're still figuring out who they are, they chase validation through their careers, through relationships, through how they present themselves to the world. That's not a flaw. It's simply a part of growing up. But the difference with an older man, especially one who has embraced his age and wisdom, is that the need for validation fades. You've already been tested. You've faced obstacles, overcome challenges, and come out stronger. And because of that, you no longer need to prove your worth to anyone. That kind of self-assurance is magnetic. People sense it when you walk into a room. There's a calmness in your presence, a natural ease in the way you carry yourself. You don't fidget or rush to fill the silence. You don't feel the need to compete for attention. You simply exist in a way that commands quiet respect. Think about the last time you spoke in a group. Did you notice how others naturally turned their attention toward you? Maybe they leaned in slightly, listening more closely. Maybe conversations slowed down when you contributed, not because you demanded attention, but because your words carried weight. That's the power of confidence that comes from experience. It isn't about trying to impress. It's about the natural authority that develops when a man has lived enough to speak with certainty. And the beauty of this kind of confidence is that it doesn't depend on external factors. It's not about being the loudest or the most physically dominant. It's not about having the flashiest clothes, the biggest bank account, or even the best stories to tell. It's about the way you move through the world, steady, grounded, and unshaken by the trivial concerns that once seemed so important in younger years. Many older men don't recognize this about themselves. They assume that with age, they've lost some of what made them appealing in their youth. But the truth is, what you've gained is far more valuable. The ability to stay calm under pressure, to speak with wisdom, to carry yourself with self-respect. These are qualities that younger people admire, even if they can't always articulate why. They're drawn to it because in a world filled with uncertainty, a man who is sure of himself stands out. So how do you embrace this confidence fully? It starts with recognizing your value. Too often, men downplay their own experiences, brushing off their accomplishments or assuming their perspectives are outdated. But the reality is, your wisdom is a gift, not just to yourself, but to those around you. The key is to own it. Speak with certainty. Trust your instincts. Understand that you don't need to compete for attention because real confidence never competes. It simply exists. And when you do that, when you embrace the self-assurance that comes with experience, something shifts. People respect you without you needing to ask for it. They listen more closely, respond differently, and see you in a way that perhaps even you hadn't realized before. That's the power of confidence. And it's one of the clearest signs that you are, in fact, an attractive older man, whether you see it yet or not. If you've made it this far, I hope these insights have been helpful. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend or loved one who might benefit. 2. You're comfortable in your own skin. There's a certain kind of presence that turns heads, not because it's loud or attention-seeking, but because it's undeniably real. It's the presence of a man who knows exactly who he is, who doesn't feel the need to explain or apologize for it. And that kind of presence? It comes only when you're comfortable in your own skin. Society has a way of making people, especially men, feel like they have to keep up with impossible standards to stay relevant, attractive, or valued. Everywhere you look, there's an expectation to appear younger, to fight against aging as if it's something to be ashamed of. Whether it's through advertisements promising to erase wrinkles, fitness trends that demand an impossible physique, or the constant push to keep up with youthful styles, the message is clear. If you're aging, you're losing value. But that's a lie. The truth is, the most attractive men aren't the ones desperately clinging to youth. They're the ones who have made peace with where they are in life. They take care of themselves, yes, but they do it for their own well-being, not because they're afraid of looking older. They don't chase trends, and they certainly don't try to compete with younger men. Instead, they embrace their age with confidence, knowing that true attractiveness isn't about looking 25 again. It's about the depth, character, and quiet strength that come from experience. If you've ever met a man who fully accepts himself, you've seen how powerful that energy is. He doesn't need to prove anything. He walks into a room and immediately puts others at ease, not by trying too hard, but by simply being. There's a steadiness in the way he moves, a certainty in his voice, and an ease in his presence that makes people feel drawn to him. And the beauty of this? It's something you already have within you. Think about the way people respond when you speak with certainty, when you share a perspective built on years of experience. They listen differently. They respect it. That's because there's something undeniably compelling about a man who is completely at peace with himself. He's not trying to fit into someone else's expectations. He's not pretending to be something he's not. He simply exists as he is, unapologetically. This is where many men struggle. They see the gray hairs, the lines on their face, the changes in their body, and they assume they're losing something. But what if those changes aren't losses at all? What if they're the very things that make you stand out? What if, instead of trying to fight them, you embrace them? There's nothing wrong with wanting to stay fit, to dress well, to take care of yourself. But the most important thing is why you do it. If you're working out, do it for your health and strength, not because you think a six-pack is the key to attractiveness. If you're dressing well, do it in a way that reflects who you are, not in an attempt to chase trends that don't align with you. The more you lean into who you really are, the more attractive you become, not just in the way you look, but in the energy you give off. And that's what people respond to. It's not about whether you have wrinkles or gray hair. It's about whether you wear them with confidence. It's not about looking young. It's about feeling alive, engaged, and at ease with yourself. That kind of self-acceptance is magnetic. It makes people want to be around you, to listen to you, to learn from you. So let go of the pressure to chase youth. You don't need it. What you have is far more valuable. Own your age, your experiences, your presence. Because when you do, you'll start to notice something incredible. People will be drawn to you, not because you're trying to be someone else, but because you're fully, unapologetically yourself. And that's real attraction. Now, let's move on to another sign that proves your appeal goes far deeper than you might realize. 3. You have emotional intelligence. If being comfortable in your own skin makes you attractive, emotional intelligence makes you unforgettable. It's one thing to be confident, but it's another to truly understand people, to listen, to respond thoughtfully, and to create a space where others feel seen and understood. This is something that many younger men, despite their energy and ambition, often lack. It takes time, experience, and self-reflection to develop emotional intelligence, and as an older man, this is one of your greatest strengths. Think about the times in your life when you've learned the value of patience. Maybe in your younger years, you were quicker to react, more eager to prove a point, or more inclined to argue. But over time, you realize that real strength doesn't come from being the loudest voice in the room. It comes from knowing when to speak and when to listen. It comes from being able to read a situation, understand what's really being said beyond the words, and respond with intention rather than impulse. This ability is incredibly attractive. It makes people feel safe around you. In a world where so many are quick to judge, quick to argue, or quick to dismiss, being the kind of man who listens with genuine interest and responds with thoughtfulness sets you apart. It's why people gravitate toward you, why conversations with you feel easy and fulfilling, and why those around you trust you in a way they might not trust others. You may have noticed this already. Perhaps a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger has confided in you, telling you things they don't normally share. Or maybe you've been told that your presence is calming, that you make people feel at ease. That's emotional intelligence in action. It's not about having all the answers or fixing every problem. It's about showing that you truly understand, that you respect others' emotions, and that you can handle situations with grace. This quality is especially important in relationships, whether romantic, professional, or social. People want to be around someone who makes them feel heard and valued. They want someone who doesn't just react to situations, but responds in a way that shows depth, understanding, and maturity. This is something younger men often struggle with because they haven't yet had the life experiences that teach patience and perspective. But you have, and that gives you a distinct advantage. One of the best things about emotional intelligence is that it's a skill you can continue to refine. It's about self-awareness, understanding your own emotions and how they influence your interactions. It's about empathy, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. And it's about social awareness, recognizing what's happening in a conversation, a relationship, or a group dynamic and knowing how to navigate it with wisdom. So if you've ever questioned what makes you attractive beyond physical appearance, remember this. Your ability to understand and connect with people on a deeper level is a rare and valuable trait. It's something that can't be faked or forced. It's something that comes from a lifetime of experience, reflection, and growth. And when you embrace this part of yourself, you'll notice that people are naturally drawn to you, not just because of what you say, but because of how you make them feel. 4. You know what you want, and it shows. One of the most attractive qualities in any person, man or woman, is clarity. When someone knows who they are, what they stand for, and what they want out of life, it changes the way they carry themselves. There's no second guessing, no unnecessary hesitation, no need for external validation. And as an older man, this is an area where you naturally have the upper hand. Younger men are often still figuring things out. They're exploring, testing boundaries, and making mistakes as they try to define themselves. While there's nothing wrong with that phase of life, it does come with a certain level of uncertainty. A man in his 20s or early 30s might struggle with indecision, unsure about his career, relationships, or even his personal values. He may lack the life experience to make confident choices, and that uncertainty can sometimes come across as insecurity. But you've already walked that path. You've made your mistakes, learned your lessons, and refined your understanding of what truly matters. You know what you want, and that decisiveness is magnetic. When you walk into a room, people can sense that you're not searching for approval or trying to fit into someone else's expectations. You've done the work to build a life that aligns with your values, and that kind of self-assuredness is deeply attractive. Think about how this plays out in everyday life. In relationships, a woman doesn't want someone who hesitates at every turn, unsure of what he's looking for or where he's going. She wants someone who has a vision, a direction, a man who is confident enough to lead, but wise enough to listen. In friendships, people naturally gravitate toward those who offer stability and groundedness. And in professional settings, leadership isn't just about expertise. It's about the ability to make decisions with conviction. This doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. No one does. But it does mean you've reached a place in life where you're no longer swayed by fleeting trends or external pressures. You don't waste time chasing things that don't align with who you are. You recognize what adds value to your life and what doesn't. And you aren't afraid to set boundaries that protect your peace. That ability to say no, to turn down things that don't serve you, is just as attractive as knowing exactly what you want. There's power in decisiveness. When you make choices with confidence, you inspire trust. People feel safe around you because they know you won't waver when things get tough. They respect your ability to navigate life with certainty, and that respect often translates into admiration and attraction. So don't downplay your decisiveness. Don't let society make you think that youth is the only thing that holds value. Your ability to know what you want and move toward it with confidence is one of the strongest qualities that set you apart. It's something that people notice, even if you don't realize it. And when you fully embrace this strength, you'll find that others naturally respond to it. If you've made it this far, I hope these insights have been helpful. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend or loved one who might benefit. 5. You take care of yourself without trying to look young. As we age, one of the most important things we can do for ourselves is to take care of our physical and mental well-being. But it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to appear younger, desperately grasping at the past. While the desire to hold on to our youth is natural, the truth is that true elegance and charm come from embracing the person we are now and nurturing ourselves in a way that reflects our wisdom, not just our appearance. In the US, especially with the constant bombardment of youth-centric media and trends, it's easy to get caught up in trying to look younger. But here's the thing. The secret to feeling good and looking good is not about turning back the clock. It's about making the most of where you are now. Imagine waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror, not with regret or longing for the past, but with pride in the person you've become. The wrinkles, the graying hair, the changes in your body. These are all signs of a life fully lived. They tell your story, and that's something to embrace. The goal isn't to fight these natural changes, but to take care of your body and mind in a way that helps you feel empowered and confident. It's not about chasing a youthful appearance. It's about looking well-maintained and feeling your best, no matter your age. A well-maintained appearance starts with the basics: keeping yourself groomed, dressing in clothes that fit well, and staying active. These small habits can have a massive impact on how you feel and how others perceive you. You don't need to chase the latest fashion trends or try to look like someone half your age. Instead, think about how to adapt your style to reflect who you are now, rather than who you used to be. A crisp, button-down shirt, a well-groomed beard, or a pair of stylish yet comfortable shoes can do more to enhance your appearance than any fleeting trend ever could. Simple changes like these signal to others, and more importantly, to yourself, that you take pride in who you are. Physical activity also plays a crucial role in both appearance and overall health. Staying active doesn't mean running marathons or hitting the gym every day. It means doing what works for your body. Whether it's a daily walk, yoga, or light strength training, moving your body in a way that feels good and is sustainable can keep you feeling strong, energized, and confident. Plus, staying active improves mood, helps prevent health issues, and boosts self-esteem. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and making small, positive choices every day that add up over time. In all of this, remember that you don't need to conform to the pressures of society's standards. The beauty of aging is that you get to redefine what it means to be attractive and confident. With a few small steps, like dressing well, staying active, and focusing on self-care, you can create a look that reflects your inner vitality and wisdom, rather than chasing a fleeting image of youth. Taking care of yourself in this way doesn't just improve how you look on the outside. It enhances your sense of self-worth, helping you step into each day with pride and purpose. And in the end, that's what truly makes you shine. 6. You have a sense of purpose. Aging is often portrayed as a time of slowing down, of stepping back from the roles that once defined us. But the truth is, the most vibrant and fulfilled older adults are those who continue to live with a sense of purpose. Whether it's through work, volunteering, creative pursuits, or simply being a guiding force for younger generations, purpose is the invisible thread that ties us to vitality. It fuels connection, resilience, and a profound sense of meaning that makes every day worth embracing. Researchers have long studied the link between purpose and well-being, and the findings are compelling. Studies show that older adults with a strong sense of purpose not only report higher levels of happiness, but also experience better physical health. A study from the University of Michigan found that people who feel a sense of purpose have a lower risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and even premature death. This isn't just about staying busy. It's about engaging in activities that make you feel alive and valuable. A sense of purpose can also help combat some of the emotional challenges that come with aging, such as loneliness, anxiety, and depression. When you have something to look forward to, whether it's mentoring a grandchild, pursuing a lifelong passion, or contributing to your community, you cultivate resilience. The brain thrives on engagement, and when you are actively involved in something meaningful, your cognitive abilities stay sharper, your mood stabilizes, and your overall sense of well-being improves. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to be meaningful to you. If you've spent decades in a career that no longer fulfills you, this might be the perfect time to explore something new. Writing, painting, learning a new language, or even starting a small business. If you find joy in helping others, volunteering at a local shelter, or mentoring younger professionals can be deeply rewarding. The key is to recognize that your worth doesn't diminish with age. If anything, your experience and wisdom make you more valuable than ever. So ask yourself, what makes me excited to get up in the morning? What legacy do I want to leave? What gives me energy rather than depleting it? The answers to these questions will guide you toward a purpose that sustains you. If you don't know where to start, ease into it with gradual changes. Reconnect with an old passion, reach out to a friend for inspiration, or sign up for a class that piques your curiosity. Purpose is not something you have to search for. It's something you cultivate day by day, with intention and heart. And when you embrace it fully, you radiate a magnetic energy that not only benefits you, but also enriches the lives of those around you. 7. You attract younger women without chasing them. One of the greatest strengths you have as you age is your presence. The way you carry yourself, the confidence you exude, and the wisdom you share, these qualities don't fade with time, they deepen. And just as younger generations admire your experience, the way you approach life's challenges can be a powerful example both for yourself and those around you. That's why financial security isn't just about having enough. It's about feeling in control. There's a difference between living cautiously out of fear and making smart, proactive choices that give you freedom. If finances have been a concern, the first step is understanding exactly where you stand. Taking an honest look at your income, expenses, and long-term needs isn't about restriction. It's about ensuring that your resources support the life you want to live. One of the biggest financial worries for many older adults is medical costs. The reality is that healthcare expenses can rise, but preparation can make all the difference. Reviewing your Medicare coverage, exploring supplemental insurance, and setting aside savings for unexpected medical needs can prevent financial stress before it happens. Knowledge is power, and when you understand your options, you gain the ability to make decisions with confidence rather than fear. Just as financial stability brings peace of mind, so does a strong support system. It's easy to believe that independence means handling everything on your own, but true independence comes from knowing when to lean on others. Whether it's family, friends, or community resources, having a reliable network isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. If you've ever felt hesitant to ask for help, consider this. People find purpose in supporting those they care about. By opening up and allowing others to be there for you, you're strengthening your connections, not burdening them. Of course, relationships change over time, and that's a natural part of life. Maybe your social circle has shifted, or you found yourself feeling more isolated than before. If that's the case, it's never too late to rebuild. A simple conversation, a shared hobby, or even reconnecting with an old friend can breathe new life into your social world. And if you're looking for deeper connections, seeking out local groups, volunteering, or engaging in new activities can introduce you to people who share your values and interests. Health, finances, and relationships are all interconnected, and at the center of it all is your sense of purpose. Having something to look forward to, a reason to get up each morning, makes all the difference in how you experience this stage of life. Purpose doesn't have to come from a grand mission. It can be found in small, everyday moments. Maybe it's mentoring someone younger, creating something meaningful, or simply making the choice to take care of yourself in a way that allows you to fully enjoy each day. Aging well isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about approaching them with intention. You've already spent a lifetime adapting, learning, and growing. That doesn't stop now. With the right mindset and the right steps, you can create a future that feels not just secure, but fulfilling. Since you've come this far, take a moment to acknowledge something important. You are actively taking steps to secure your future, to live with intention, and to embrace the next chapter of life with clarity and confidence. That in itself is a powerful thing. The challenges that come with aging are real, but so is your ability to navigate them with wisdom and strength. Aging well isn't about resisting change. It's about adapting in ways that empower you. It's about recognizing that your experience, resilience, and ability to prepare put you in control. The truth is, you already have everything it takes to create a future that feels not just stable, but fulfilling. By prioritizing your health, making smart financial choices, and nurturing meaningful connections, you're building a life that allows you to thrive on your own terms. If anything in this discussion resonated with you, take it as a sign that you're on the right path. The choices you make today lay the foundation for a more secure and fulfilling future. And remember, you are never alone in this journey. There are resources, communities, and people ready to support you every step of the way. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What part of this conversation spoke to you the most? Share your thoughts and experiences. We're in this together. And if you found this discussion valuable, don't forget to stay connected for more insights on living fully, preparing wisely, and embracing the future with confidence. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical advice to keep you feeling your best. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.